Hi, in this video I would like to expose the Muslim concept of taqiyya, which means justified lying, because it has become a prominent and successful warfare strategy against Israel as a Jewish state. The concept of taqiyya was born with the creation of Islam in the unforgiving Arabian desert, where people lived in tribes around water wells and where straying from tribal rules was punishable by death. Islam leaders recognized that they knew converts to Islam were risking their lives by straying from tribal rules and therefore allowed to lie about it. The suspension of moral judgment due to this dire circumstance was called taqiyya. Since then, the threat of death due to conversion to Islam diminished, but the practice of taqiyya is still allowed and encouraged when lying to an enemy, which in this case are the Jews. Lying to Jews is not considered real lying because lying to an enemy is the same as preserving one's own life. But the logic of justified lying here is a little more complicated, because here the lying is not to the Jews, but about the Jews, and not to Israel, but about Israel. This achieves two goals in one stroke. One, lying to the infidels, who are non-Muslims and in some respects are equal to enemies, and two, weakening Israel as a Jewish state with a negative global relations warfare. I must emphasize that the Muslim objection to the existence of Israel is not political or geographical, but ideological. The Jews having an independent state in their own homeland is all about negating the Muslim promise of a global social justice utopia. The belief is that in order for this utopia to begin, all human beings must come back home to Islam. Once everybody lives by Sharia laws, the mythical result is promised peace and harmony. But in order to get to that point, everybody on earth has to convert to Islam or be exterminated, starting with the Jews. Israel disproves the Muslim promise of utopia, not only by virtue of its mere existence, but also by being strong militarily, economically, and ideologically. On top of it, it is a democratic country that embraces all human beings, Jews and non-Jews alike, when democracy in itself negates the mythical Muslim utopia of Sharia law. By its existence, its democracy, and its strength, Israel hits Islam at its very core and source of pride, which is the worst possible insult to the desert mindset of Islam. In order to prove that Islam is the real deal, Israel must be eliminated. But all attempts to eliminate Israel by force failed. Joint military attacks from all Israel's Muslim neighboring countries failed at least 4 times so far. But lying about the failures succeeded, at which point the Muslim warfare switched to the Taqiyya Warfare, where the strength is monetary rather than military. This strategy successfully puts Israel at a disadvantage for 2 reasons. One, Qatar, the richest country in the Middle East, is the primary source of funding of the Taqiyya Warfare, where the budget is astronomical. And two, Judaism doesn't provide any effective strategy on how to fight back. There are stories of deception in the Jewish Bible, but they are often interpreted as an act of God, and rabbinic law leaves almost no wiggle room for the ninth Mosaic commandment, don't lie. Nevertheless, don't fight it. As I'm exploring the topic of anti-Semitism and doing my best to debunk the anti-Semitic lies against Israel, one person responded to me by saying, "Let's see how the truth works for you when Israel is destroyed." This is a revealing response that captures the essence of the Taqiyya warfare, and unfortunately, I don't have any tool to fight back other than the truth. The responder is correct that the truth may not be sufficient retaliation because it relies on facts that can be easily challenged, while the anti-Semitic lies rely on appealing to people's emotions that cannot be challenged. People are entitled to their feelings regardless of how misguided they might be. The bottom line is that unless we, the Jews, find an effective way to disarm the Taqiyya warfare, we are going to remain sitting ducks. Because when it comes to anti-Semitism, the truth doesn't matter. If you didn't know, now you know. Bye.